So Tennessee has essentially closed preseason camp. And I know some of you are saying, well, there's still a week left before game week. But you start to really ramp it down. And I've been doing this for a quarter of a century. You start to really ramp it down this last season. You do some special teams work. You're where you need to be by this point. So while it may seem like, that they are going out and practicing every day, essentially the preseason camp portion of finding your best players, getting them on the field, having a depth chart in your mind is the goal of preseason camp and just in general overall improvement. So I think there are some very definitive things that we have learned about Tennessee in preseason camp. And we'll do that with 4 downs. Coop, what should people do?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Thank you, Coop. And what down is it? Number one thing I've learned, Boo Carter is going to be a starter or play a lot. I mean, maybe because he's a freshman, he doesn't get the starting nod, but he's going to be your guy out there at that star position. I believe that key situations, Boo's your guy. That's the number one thing I learned. I expected it coming in. It's not a surprise, Caleb, but Boo's going to be a player.
Yeah, we absolutely expected it. And it was even more clear when Josh Heupel gave his presser to wrap up fall camp on Monday, because he was asked about specifically Christian Harrison to fill in the void for Jordan Thomas. And Josh Heupel said, "Yep, Christian Harrison done good. Let me go to Boo Carter. Boo Carter's also done great." And just like volunteering Boo Carter. No one asked about Boo Carter. Josh Heupel's making it very clear he and his staff are all in on trying to make sure that Boo Carter, if he's not going to be a star, well, then this is a miss by the coaching staff, because they are all in on at least trying to force him to be a star then.
Yep, totally agree with you. What down is it, Cooper Mays?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
That's right. All right, second down. Left guard's not done. And I can tell you this, talking to some people within the program since the last time we spoke yesterday, you've got a situation where Andre Keurig, I believe, is ready to take that step. And I believe he'll be better than last year, but he's been a little bit banged up. And Shamarad Umarov has done a good job. Jackson Lampley, we'll see. I don't know that he has the physical ability to be able to compete at this level. But the one thing I can tell you is left guard's not done. It's not necessarily a bad thing. If Andre Keurig's 100% healthy, I believe he'll play at a higher level than last year, but only so much higher, Caleb. So left guard is not done. That would be the one position on the entire field that I would say, man, if you had another week, that's the one you'd want it on.
Left guard's done in the sense that it's going to be the weak link of Tennessee football this year. I'm sorry, guys. If you haven't figured this out a week before the start of the season, that's a problem. And because it's not like they don't have guys not in the program, Dave. We're talking Jackson Lampley's a 5-year guy in the program. The one that they put all that money out to get last year from Texas, Andre Keurig, who was awful last year. We all thought might take a step forward this year. Hasn't taken a step forward this year. At what point do we just say the position's over? They're not going to find somebody.
Well, you have to factor this in. There's no preseason in college football. However, there is Chattanooga. There are opponents like that where you can get a lot better. And again, I think Keurig's going to be the guy, just banged up recently. So I think that's a concern. I will still say that I think Keurig 100% can be a B to B plus offensive lineman for this team. You're probably more along the lines of C average or even lower.
Probably even lower. And I'm going to say this, and this is going to, Dave's about to kill me, guys, because he's like, no, we can't do this when we recap games. We have to take things seriously. How many, there's going to be a left guard stand out against Chattanooga. And we're like, oh, maybe he's the future for Tennessee at left guard. And then we're going to realize very quickly, no, he just played against Chattanooga.
Well, true. But you do learn, like any chemistry. Okay, let me see if I can put this in a better formulated statement. I think Andre Keurig will be better this year. I think that he got banged up and that hurt his chemistry on the team. I think games like Chattanooga are basically glorified scrimmages, and you can work on that chemistry. So that's where I would stand. So I think he can be better, but it's not done. And I don't know. And I'm not going to declare that left guard is going to be a strong position, because I think at best it's going to be slightly above average. Defensive backs and a player on third and fourth down, respectively, will be addressed. And again, I've got some inside news for you. So hang tight. Medicare Misty, over 40 states she's regulated in, so she can work with you, no charge for her services, and she'll get you all taken care of when it comes to Medicare.
19 years this year. I've been in the community since 1993. You're getting a lot of information. Unlike when you were working, they made the choice for you. Now you have to make the choice. Come to us and let us help you make it easy. Call Medicare Misty, MedicareMisty.com, or 423-777-5577. Let us help them sleep at night.
And we call her Medicare Misty.
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. Third down.
Tennessee's defensive backs are going to be very, very good by October, because I think they have the same reason. I think they have to play some Chattanoogas, get some chemistry together, but I like the talent back there. Now, when you look at it at the end of the year, Caleb, the yards per completion or whatever other stat you want to use may not have Tennessee at the very top of the SEC. However, I think they'll be at least top half, and I think that they will create turnovers in the secondary. I think they've got some ball hawks back there that will be able to flip the field via interceptions. I just think they have better athletes, but I can't tell you they'll be good from the get because they haven't played together in a game situation.
Yeah, I'm with you on this, and Josh Heupel's been hinting at this, and Josh Heupel tries to say nothing, but he's been hinting at the secondary being much better all off season. Now, grain of salt, maybe he was hinting at that with the idea of Jordan Thomas being a starter. I don't know, but I do think that Tennessee their secondary is going to be much better. I do think they're going to give a lot of yards and points, but yeah, I'm with you. It's going to be like 2022, although their secondary was bad in 2022 if you take the South Carolina game into account. But for the most part, it was garbage time. Game was over. They played soft bear coverage and tried to make teams work the clock and let them gain a lot of yards and score a lot of points down the stretch with the game in hand.
Okay. This should be fun.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. Fourth down.
All right. You can't say boo and you can't say any red shirts, but which freshman, because I'm going to give you one that's going to play this year and is going to potentially be a star at Tennessee. Which of the freshmen do you like other than boo and not red shirts?
Well, mine is Peyton Lewis.
Right.
Because I've been always high on Peyton Lewis. The other one has been Mike Matthews.
Right.
And
I'm going to give you one. You ready?
Let's hear it, Dave.
Edwin Spillman.
The linebacker.
Continues to show up. And I believe, based off the last time we've all talked, Tennessee has a gem in Edwin Spillman. I don't know if it's going to show up this year, but he's done enough to put himself in the coaches' minds for the future. And I'm talking about in their minds for maybe some mop-up duty early. I don't think you can step in the SEC 9 times out of 10 and play right away. But this guy's going to be a big factor for the Vols moving forward.
It's a bold statement, Dave. Because
why do you not like Edwin Spillman?
Because Tennessee has not had success with Lipscomb Academy kids in the past.
Okay.
And I think Caleb Beasley doesn't like me for saying this too in previous years. But if I'm not mistaken, didn't Wesley Walker go to Lipscomb Academy? I believe he did. And I think a few others went to Lipscomb Academy that have not worked out in the past. It's one of the 2 schools I have named. The other one being Innsworth. Lipscomb's the private school, Innsworth the public school. But it's one of the 2 national schools I named that tend to shall we say, produce bust?
Yeah, you could say bust. I mean, Lipscomb Academy, they play a lot of private school teams, and you can either be really good or really bad. So it's kind of like college football. How many times are you really challenged an elite team? What, 6, maybe 5?
Yes.
I mean, 4 of the games you should just win. That's kind of how Tennessee's private school sector works out. So it's tough to evaluate those kids. But yeah, I'm saying Edwin Spillman. I think that he is going to. Now, do we want to say? I'm going to say Tennessee's best true freshman, not Boo, will eventually be Mike Matthews, Peyton Lewis, Edwin Spillman. Please go ahead and vote on our YouTube page. We greatly appreciate that. Take 1 second for me and hit that like button. That like button. And if you haven't subscribed to this point, please do so. Caleb, you were going to say?
I'm just going to say it. Best player to ever come out of Spillman or Lipscomb Academy was Austin Rogers.
Austin Rogers is a good player.
Yeah, but if he's the best player to come out of your high school,
he's the best player. Okay, then I'll go out on a limb. Then if Edwin Spillman will be better than Rogers, and I'll bet you a steak dinner on that.
You'll bet me a steak dinner that Edwin Spillman is better than Austin Rogers.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't take that bet, would you? Because Rogers.
Oh, no.
Okay.
I would take that bet. Okay. I would absolutely take that bet. I have a lot of lack of faith in Lipscomb Academy kids. So,
All right. The bet is on.
And by the way, the second best is Zach Rogers.
Okay. We'll see how they do. I'm afraid of some private school kids too in Tennessee because the level of competition is not fantastic. Tennessee's best true freshman, not Boo, will eventually be Mike Matthews, Peyton Lewis, Edwin Spillman. It's on our YouTube page. Please vote right now. And I'm happy to say that Spillman, I think some people believe me, Spillman's making a push. It wouldn't surprise me based off who I've talked to. And what's this, 2024? If in 2026, they're both all SEC players.
Okay.
Are you going to go that far with Peyton Lewis? Because I'm not. I think there are too many great running backs in the SEC.
I don't think Josh Heupel will let any of his running backs be all SEC unless it's unless it's an all-purpose back who gets a lot of yards in the passing game. But I just don't think he gives Dew enough touches to be all SEC. Although Jalen Wright made a push last year with his limited touches. I mean, I kind of think we've underrated just how good of running back Jalen Wright was last year. But yeah, I think that I'm with you.
Well, I happen to think that maybe you're underrated.
Oh, wait.
Yes, Dylan.
And also,
we can get that later. Go ahead.
Pseudo Sham brings up a great point. What about Ross? Jordan Ross, too, is another one that I'm like, if James Pierce were not on this team, I might be talking about Jordan Ross as an All-American as a freshman. Not a freshman All-American, an All-American as a freshman.
I'm surprised you didn't go Jordan Ross. I thought you would go in that direction, but I was a bit taken aback. The vote is there on our YouTube channel. We want you to take part because
that's hot.